Hey guys, and welcome back. All right, today I have a very special treat for you. Today we are interviewing Joe Castro, who is Worth USA's master of the vending machines, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. But we got to roll that in. This computer. Hey everybody, Dave Lehman here. It is a pleasure to actually introduce my friend, my cohort, I guess you could say my not our professional better half, Mr. Joe Castro. Hey Joe, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thanks for the invite.
Awesome, awesome. So today's video that we're doing, we're actually just trying to get an idea, kind of cap off this whole series that we've been doing on vending machines and talk to the master himself. And Joe, I'm just going to ask you some questions here and see what is it you do for Worth?
Well, my official title is Customer Solutions Coordinator. So that kind of and it covers a couple different things. We got the vending
Okay.
program, VIP program, along with SIS as well as ORSI. So yeah, kind of got a few different things going up. But the biggest part of the job is dealing with the vending machines. Obviously,
Right.
we'll deal with the new setups, maintaining machines, getting products sent out, getting machines ordered.
Right.
The software side of it, I'm in constant contact with the guys over there at Innovation, getting some things going there, as well as Sega, who provides the coil machines. So
Nice.
it's that's the biggest part of the job, along with helping you support SIS, and then also dealing with ORC and the ORC budgets
Nice.
as those requests come in on a daily basis.
Wow.
So
You're a
yeah,
busy man.
it's a busy. Yeah, can't complain. Can't complain.
So tell us what you got there behind you on as your background. I see a locker, but what's that over to your left shoulder?
That's a full-size coil machine there, or that little chrome strip on the left side of that machine there with the keypad. So
Okay. Okay.
full-size coil machine. That's a six-tray machine, 4 rows of single coils, 2 rows of double coils for the bigger products in the bottom there, and of course that's our standard, well, our regular 18-door variable locker is how Innovation terms it.
Yep. So I forgot to mention in the video on the locker that the locker itself can stand by itself.
That it can, yeah. Any locker, Venimation has a couple different types of lockers available, and any of the lockers can be converted to a standalone machine. They just kind of take out one of the doors and replace it with a board on the inside and a keypad and display on the outside.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen a few of those that go into the field. I'm sure that those are special situations kind of deal. But
Yeah, for the most part, but yeah, they do come in handy when needed,
all
for
right,
sure.
well, good deal. So how long have you been with Worth? I think it's been forever, but a
So it's some feel like the forever in a couple of years.
couple of years.
Officially, I think in 2 more months it'll be 16 years
Holy
total.
cow!
I took a 1 year hiatus a few years ago, but came back home
You were
to the
sorely missed. I can
to
tell
the
you that.
fellow Worthians, and yeah, man, it's been good. It's been real good.
Good deal. So tell us, how did you get your start with Worth? I mean, I know the story, but to our viewers that are watching this, what's the Joe Castro story?
Years ago, I actually came on with Worth, California. It was Worth USA, California, right? They were Worth, California. It was probably about 6 months after all of the different locations had actually come together as Worth USA.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going through their growing pains of converting from one system into the SAP system, which was almost brand new back at that time. So
Right.
I
Right.
actually came in as a temp worker, helping out with customer service way back when, updating SIC codes for customers in SAP. That was my introduction to SAP.
Bless
I'm
your
dealing
heart.
with that, and so shortly after I had started working there, they announced that they were shutting down the Ontario, the California location, and opening that brand new warehouse up in Reno.
Right.
So
Right.
that was kind of a Debbie Downer moment,
I
as you
remember
as
that
you can
day.
imagine, as you can imagine. But because I was a temp, I was kind of stayed on to help kind of facilitate the move and some of the other things going on. The warehouse stayed open for a while a lot of the office people were shut down.
Right.
But then I was kind of slowly introduced into the world of SIS. It's kind of, well, I wouldn't say slowly introduced. I was kind of thrown in,
Yeah.
thrown in the pool, sink or swim. So that's kind
And
of
I
how it
think that's
was.
how
Yeah.
we all started out. It's like, hey, here's this program. Go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. So I kind of took over. Back then, the program, the old little black boxes and some processing SIS orders.
Oh man.
And then I kind of came in late to the party when SIS-10 with a then new yellow barcode scanner was released, and was
Mm-hmm.
kind of thrown in there as well. And here you go. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
That's when I met the whole crew. Brother Dave Lehman, Dave Watkins at the time,
Oh
and
yeah.
some of the old the other long departed SIS technicians at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so both you and I have seen a lot of people kind of come and go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we've seen the program kind of come and go too, because
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
it's you were talking about the SIS-10. When I came on, it was SIS-7, and it was the little black box like you were talking about. Man, that thing was a nightmare to talk about. You installed it and hoped the customer never used it, because it was such a pain in the rear to use. But so tell me a little bit about, so you're working in the Ontario warehouse, and you kind of moving into where you're at now, and then the vending thing. How is it that you ended up being the chief of the vending machines?
That kind of took a turn. Yeah, that was. I remember when vending was first announced. It was announced to me by then product manager Daniel Molnar at the time that
Mm-hmm.
Dave Lehman's gonna kind of help me out with a couple of these early vending installs, just because he's over here on the East Coast. So I was like, fine, that's cool with me. And then out of the blue one day, it's like, hey, you're gonna do vending as well. I think obviously because Dan was familiar with us and the work that we had done
Mm-hmm.
with SIS and developing SIS 11, the online version for the first time, and because of our experience with software and customers and the computer side of things, which obviously vending has the software side on the back end as well. So yeah, that was another kind of thrown into the deep end and kind of see what dude just kind of struggled to keep your head above water.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, way back when did the first on-site setup was Beaverton Toyota up in Beaverton, right outside of Portland, Oregon.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and just kind of kept on doing part-time vending, part-time SIS, just kind of making. And then we blended the two together, which was really cool to see happen. Luckily, the guys over at Vendovation are very cool to work with,
Oh
very
yeah.
easy to work with. They've almost anything we've asked them to do, they've tried to facilitate as much as they can.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love working with those
Um,
guys.
yeah. Then keep plugging away. A few years later, and it's hard to believe it's been like 8 years now since we installed the first
Yep.
machine is what we saw. So
Some
yeah,
professional broadcaster I
can't
am.
believe
How about
can't
that?
believe it's been that long, man. That's kind of crazy to see. It's
8 years.
it's one of those things, like I say, you don't always realize it when you're in the middle of it, and then all the crazy stuff that's going on, and then you look back, it's like, wow, yeah, we made it through all that crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but fast forward, just working up the ranks as needed, just kind of filling in, getting stuff ordered, getting now it's kind of a used to be a lot of different, well, there still is a lot of different departments involved with the supporting the vending program, but you used to have to reach out to a lot more people. Now we've become a lot more self-sufficient. We're,
Mm-hmm.
you know, part-time purchasing, ordering the machines, part-time customer service. There's a lot of different stuff that goes into it now.
Cool. So where do you see vending going now that we've kind of become mainstream?
Yeah, I don't see it going away anytime soon. Vendovation has a couple of tricks up their sleeve, and some of the cans, Daniel Sather in particular has some cool ideas. Maybe some I don't want to let any cat out of the bag, but there's some cool ideas that could come to fruition at some point. Potential
Yep.
integrations maybe down the line that we can work out with certain customers. Yeah. So on the software side, there's some cool stuff that could potentially happen. The Vendovation is always working on something to kind of do some kind of update on their end.
Right.
I just spoke with them recently, actually, about the potential virtual machines
Oh, really?
for like a keeping track of, maybe product isn't in the machine itself, but you can use
Right.
it kind of like a checkout,
Okay.
checking out of bins. So that's something that's they're kind of working on right now.
Oh, cool.
A couple of other one of the other things they're working on right now is like a standalone will call locker.
Okay.
So that's something they actually do have a platform currently. So that's something maybe Daniel said they're looking at for some of our customers that maybe have shown an interest in that, to see where we can go with that. So that's one of the things coming up. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, we also have 3 customers on the hand tool vending program. Geez, I don't know how I could forget that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We spent some time getting that part of it going. So that's specifically for customers. That's a little bit different concept.
Yeah.
Set of machines in the shop. None of that product is for the customer itself or the shop itself. It's specifically for the technicians. It has a credit card swipe machine on the front. It's for techs who want to go out and purchase a specific hand tool, or right there in the shop anytime they choose.
Nice.
So we currently have 3 customers on that. I'm still kind of in the test phase. It's still fairly early in the process.
Right.
And there's a whole billing part of it on the backside of it that we've had to deal with. Thank you to our IT and our credit management departments, trying to get that part of it handled as well, to make sure we get paid for those transactions, seeing as those machines aren't tied in directly to our system. So yeah, that's been a big project as well the last year, middle of last year, through the middle of this whole pandemic. We had to kind of get that going. So
yeah, I can see from a shop aspect of not having technicians disappearing onto the tool truck for 2 or 3 hours. And,
exactly.
hey, look, if you need that set of socket wrenches, go for it. They're right there in the machine, and swipe your credit card to have a great time.
That's the whole reason. Well, one of the big reasons for the machines in general, of course.
Right.
The more productivity for the technicians there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. All right. So do you? Well, we just talked about some new integrations coming up, but now that the SIS and the vending are all talking to each other, are you seeing a growth in demand for vending machines for work?
It's definitely picked up this beginning of 2021. I've already received. I think we have 12 new customers already, new vending customers. About half of those have been set up already, and then the others are in the works. So it's it's definitely picked up. From where we were at this time. Well, even this time last year, we were still pretty busy, but the middle, March, April, when everything kind of dropped off the ledge there, we've definitely picked up. It's definitely a good start to the year for sure.
Oh, that is awesome. So let's talk a little bit about, it's like, okay, I'm a sales rep. I've got a customer that's interested in a vending machine of some sort. They've allocated the spot in their store. What's the process? What's the process of getting a machine sent to my customer?
Let me show you my screen here. We do have a couple of brochures out.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And these brochures, are they on the Worth USA page, or are they on?
They are on the intranet.
Okay.
I will verify that they're where they should be.
Okay.
But under Office and Forums, it should be on the Customer Solutions section. But this is the VIP program implementation guide that we updated last year. So it kind of covers everything from beginning to end, from designating what and qualifying customers, and if they qualify for the vending program, to determining the product mix, determining where the machines are going to go, all the way through to the installation and maintaining the machines while the stock levels once the machines are installed.
Good deal.
So it's a lot of stuff to go through at the moment. It comes across a lot of information, but we go through it in steps for the customer, obviously. So you don't have to digest it all at one time. But this one's very helpful.
Yes, I know that I was down in Louisiana when we installed that first machine, and that was interesting because it looked like all the chiefs and just a couple of Indians were running around trying to trying to get this machine installed. It's like, okay, all you bigwigs, go over there, because we're, the district manager and I were trying to get all of the wires plugged up and make sure everything was working the way it was supposed to, stock the machine. And we had some VIPs there that were like, that's like a vending machine. Yep. It's like, dude, you're in the way, move. But it was a good time. It was a good time. And we learned a lot from that one little coil machine. And we were talking on social media that, surprisingly enough, that machine is still online. I don't know if it's the same machine. I don't know if it's been replaced yet or not.
I believe we did swap that machine out last year, within the last year or two. We did swap it out. They had some issue with it or something like that. But yeah, that is an updated machine down there.
Yeah, good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, good deal. Is anything else you're wanting to share? Here's a question that I always wanted to ask you is that, what's your biggest challenge of working with vending? What's the one thing you wish more people understood about vending before they go down this path? Or
It's. I think the biggest challenge is finding the right customer at times. There's times where, unfortunately, the last 2 years we've placed machines, and then within the year, something happens, either some disagreement or there's a new manager comes in the play, and the machines are out of there within a year or even less, which has happened a few times, unfortunately.
Oh, unfortunately.
But I mean, that's part of the qualification plan. Yeah, make sure everyone's on board. Really sit with the customer, make sure that they know, and this goes over in the guide as well. Make sure on the customer side that they speak with all departments that are going to be impacted by this program.
Right.
Make sure they're aware of what's going on. So no one no one there in the shop is surprised or shocked when this machine, the 1,000 pounds worth of machine shows up at the shop, and then, oh, what's this about? Who's these Worth guys? Which I'm sure our guys are pretty good. Our guys and gals are pretty good with getting their name out there. They're making relationships all over the customers' locations. But yeah, just to make sure everyone there knows what this is about, knows what the program is for, how it's going to benefit them, and make sure they know how to use it. Of course, on that side of it.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and just wrap it up here. And anything else? Any final words you want to jump in here with, Joe?
Couple different other brochures we have as well.
Okay.
There's this Leave Behind, which I believe marketing sent out when we first set this up maybe a year ago, but this will also be available. This is something you can be left to the customer if they're interested in. Just kind of quick overview of what vending can do for the customer. And anyone interested in different types of machines, you've seen the coil, thanks to Dave's awesome videos on the machines. You've seen the coil, you've seen our usual locker. Vendovation has a couple different other locker models as well available. We typically use this middle one. This is called the 18-door variable locker. But we have an 18-door standard, which are all the same sizes. We have a 36-door. We have a 24-door locker as well. And we also, if needed, I think we have one shop using it. We have a configurable locker. Essentially, it's 18 doors, but I believe we have a customer down in San Antonio who's using they have large tool checkouts. They have configured to 9 doors for checkout purposes. So, but of course, any questions, you can reach out to myself or you, Dave, at 800-864-6561, the magic number.
The magic number. And, that kind of works for, Joe and I, like I was saying earlier, Joe and I cover for each other. I'm online, obviously, because I'm on the East Coast and I'm 3 hours ahead of Joe, and Joe's covering for me in the evening time. So if you dial that 800 number, you're going to get one or both of us, depending on how the phones are working that day. But we're pretty versed on it back and forth. I was noticing that that S model has the keypad on it.
That's right. Yeah, all of these, every model of locker can be converted to a standalone unit if needed, where essentially they just swap out a door and replace it with a control board on the inside and a keypad and display on the outside.
Nice. And also, I'm looking at this machine here. As tempting as it would be to have that second one over, as tempting as that machine would be, is those doors are going to be awfully small. So putting too many items in there, you're going to be limited on how much stock you can. And if you're like putting in aerosol cans, everything's going to be on its side.
Oh, sure. Obviously, yeah. I think we only have maybe 2 or 3, just a handful of those out in the wild. But for the most part, our 18-door variable works very well.
Excuse me. Thank goodness for a cough button. All right,
Yes,
good
sir.
deal. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Joe, thank you again, and thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all of the years that you and I've worked together. It's been a pleasure. And the running joke with Joe and I, we're not allowed to ride in the same car together.
Nope, can't happen.
Because
Can't happen.
between us, I mean, there's not many people that know exactly what's going on with these programs. So you know, we have to make sure that we continue on. But thank you again. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for, you know, being there for everybody.
Well, of course, thank you, man.
All right, we'll go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate everybody. The number again is 1-800-864-6561. Well, thanks for your time. We'll have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.